My name's Ian Duckett. I own Body and Design, which is a personal training business, coaching business as well. It's not like work, it's a passion. I'm very high energy, I get a lot done, I live a really active life. What I have done is done something I love doing. I've achieved all I've wanted to do in bodybuilding, winning the World Championships and the British Championships.
Ian was working in the gym where I was training. He sounded really inspiring and motivating, and I thought I could do with somebody training me like that.
So what I've done is taken the number 3 and put it through every programme I've ever used in my life. 3 meals, 3 snacks, 3 litres of water, 3 workouts a week, 3 drill sessions. I could go on and on and on. Because all that person's got to think about is the number 3, and it'll make any routine easy to understand.
Ian is really motivating. There's lots of personal trainers out there that are good, but there's some that are absolutely excellent.
I get a lot from seeing my clients improve and obviously compete themselves. It gives me a job satisfaction. It gives me a buzz, because I will give somebody 100% everything I have, work first thing in the morning till last thing at the night, make sure they have things there when they want it there, but only if they will do as I asked of them. I've been coming to Lane End Farm Shop now for a long time, 12 or so years maybe. And I used to buy the eggs off the owners well before it even became a shop. It went from buying eggs from the house to they had a trailer and they used to sell the organic, free-range reared meat. I generally come here every Sunday and buy all the meat and everything I need for the week, meat and vegetables. And with it being a really small shop as well, and actually keeping the bare essentials here, what you're not done is you're not bombarded with all the stuff that the big supermarkets power at you, all the selling points. Work out what you need for the week, you buy it, and you're covered. You are what you eat. Now, the more natural you eat, the more healthy you eat, the more organic you eat, the better that your recovery will be from training. You see, what we do is when we're training hard, you build up enough toxins anyway from the training you're doing. So it makes sense to me that if you eat really clean, you're not taking in toxins from food. I don't eat anything processed whatsoever. I try and eat everything as clean as possible and as natural state as possible. So it's very, very rare you'll see me eating anything from a tin or buying fast food. So if you eat really clean, what happens then is you're not taking in a lot of toxins from the food you're eating, so therefore you recover quicker from your training. And if you recover quicker, you'll build better quality muscle. Not only that, with you being you are what you eat, the cleaner you eat, every time your body has to recycle itself and make new cells, the quality of the cells is better and better and better. Hiya, hon.
Hiya, you
right?
okay?
Good, thank you, yeah.
Fine beans today.
There we go. Thank you, darling. Thank you. Take care. See you soon. Right, this is Tong, and I mentioned in the hometown episode how much I love Tong and how much it's very much like Subi, so it gives me a little bit of a taste of Bridlington. So I like to go to the farm shop, get what I need, and we quite often come down as a family, and I'll grab a coffee in a little coffee shop just down the way there, and the kids will get an ice cream. And what we'll do now is now I've got my food for the next few days, I'll call back here on Sunday. I generally go on a Sunday to the farm shop and get all I need for the week. But what I've got here today is just for the next few days. So I bought some chicken, some beef, some sweet potatoes and some broccoli, and I'll show you how we cook that up. You can also have a word with the old lady, Louise, have a chat with her, my wife. And she's been an ex-competitor herself. She'll give you a little bit of an insight into clean eating and how we manage as a family.
Ian's eating regime is based on like a healthy lifestyle and a healthy diet. It doesn't at all go against anything that we do as a family. However, I have different ways of cooking bits and pieces, obviously, for the children to make them more like family meals. You know, at the end of the day, being a bodybuilder, Ian does follow a bodybuilding lifestyle, so does tend to eat more regular than other people, but he'll prepare his food on an evening for the day so that he knows what he's having, and we just work it around that. I've been a competitor myself going back many years before I had the children, and when you are competing you have to have a really regimented and strict diet, and that's when people think it's obsessive. They don't understand when you say, no, I just won't have that one piece of cake, or no, I won't have that, because you do need to stick to a very restrictive diet. However, the rest of the time, it's not restrictive at all. There's lots of food you can eat. It is just a good, basic, healthy diet, and it's a balanced diet. If you are going to be dedicated to your training and work hard with your training, there's no point doing the training unless you are going to eat properly, because the results that you get from your training alone may only make a small difference, whereas your diet may make something like 80% of the difference, because that alters how your body composition is and the way that you actually look. Once you've, you know, there's lots of people, there's people in gyms all over that train really, really hard, but unless they adhere to a pretty healthy diet, they always look the same. If you want to look different and want to look lean and toned, then you do need to do the diet as well.
Just like with everything, really, I'm really into the basics, and nutrition is just the same. You can't beat clean eating, and if you eat clean and you train hard, that's exactly what you'll look like you do. My oatcakes have taken on quite a little famous reputation, really, and they're so simple to do. Because I shut out the house early in the morning, and it's quicker for me to have breakfast at work, I've been making these oatcakes for years like this. Let's just show you. I don't even weigh or measure anything. I basically round about a cup. I know sort of instinctively how much oats to put in there for myself. Okay. Some organic oats, free range organic eggs. Pop them in. There we go. You can add to this, fruit, some blueberries, something like that. Today I'm using a scoop of protein powder to add up the protein a little bit with it, and also to give it a little bit of a chocolate flavour. Sometimes I don't put this in, sometimes I do. I don't make a meal of it, I just get it popped in. Everything I eat, I have protein, fats and carbs together. I believe what that does is balance out your blood sugar levels and makes the meal a lot slower to digest, so it evens out your blood sugar levels and you don't get an insulin spike and that drop of energy. Okay, so what I add to it is some peanut butter. There's already fats in there with the eggs, but this gives it some flavouring and a little bit of extra calories for me too. Add some honey to this as well for sweetness and flavour. Give it a good mix up. Generally those eggs I put in there will be enough to give this the consistency to cook. There we go. Just pop that in nice. And that's good to go. Let's go pop that in the oven. Probably take about 20 minutes on a 180. Done. Put it up. Put that in there. That'll be done. That's for breakfast, and I'll eat that cold the next day. Or you could even cut them up into the size of like you would use for toast and pop them in the toaster if you was at home. So breakfast is in. Right, I generally eat 3 main meals a day and 3 snacks. Okay, 3 and 3. Keeping it into the 3. So with breakfast, lunch and tea. Okay, and then I would have 3 snacks: mid-morning, mid-afternoon and a supper. Mid-morning would be something approximately that size with mixed organic nuts and a couple of pieces of fruit. Okay, same again for mid-afternoon. Okay, and then I would have, for supper, I would have something like, again, an organic granola, and I would put probably half of that pot of natural Greek style organic yogurt on there. Okay, and that is a really good thing to have before bed, is organic Greek yogurt, because yogurt puts back the cultures back into your system. It's very high in protein, calcium and magnesium. It relaxes you, and fantastic for obviously having before you go to bed, because it puts good bacteria back into your gut for the next day's eating. I would generally cook my my lunch the next day with my evening meal, my tea. If I've come in late from work The quickest way for anybody to sort of cook a meal while you're doing other things, while you're getting a bath, a shower, you know, sorting out your stuff for the next day, your work clothes or whatever you've got to do. This is a quick way of easier doing it. All I've done is put 2 chicken breasts there in foil, and I've chopped up some sweet potatoes. The sweet potatoes will cook a little bit better like that. I like them done like that as well. All I'll do is put some no salt seasoning chicken on the chicken, just to give it a little bit of flavour. I'm not big on too much spice. Just wrap that up. That's just me. And that will go in the oven like so. Okay, that's a quick meal. I can go now and shoot off and do something else. If I've gotten a little bit earlier, I like to cook, you know, my chicken. Sometimes I like to dry stir fry it. I use a little bit of coconut oil. Okay, I do use fats with every meal, like I explained earlier. I'd use mostly olive oil, coconut oil, sometimes Udo's oil. I use a lot of peanut butter sometimes with my meals. Even, you know, cooking the chicken, and then when the chicken's cooked, I would put maybe a spoon of peanut butter on top of it before I eat it, and that gives it some nice flavour. And I'll sometimes even put that on the sweet potato to give it some flavour as well. Not cook it in it, but you know, put it on when it's being cooked. So that would be a meal I would cook if I've got in late from work. I'll just pop that in and I can go and do something else. If I've got a little bit more time, I like to cook my chicken in coconut oil. It gives it a fantastic flavour, and it's a very good healthy oil to use as well. And it adds fats to the meal. Again, slowing down the digestion. You know, people shy away too much from fats. If you're eating natural, healthy foods, organic, and you're using healthy fats as well, because I use salmon and I use olive oil and nuts and seeds, lots of those things, peanut butter. So my fat levels in my diet is actually quite high, but it's because I don't eat processed foods. I don't eat things like, you know, I don't eat McDonald's. I don't eat, you know, what people would class as normal foods. You know, I eat really clean all the time. So this one I like to do. I've got a little bit more time. You would think, ooh, coconut chicken, it is absolutely stunning. Right, I'll get that set on. There's quite a dollop of this. I'll get in there. Okay, again, I'd use no salt seasoning on this as well. Get a little bit of that on there. Wait till that gets off going. So we get the chicken. So just get that going. While that's going as well, there's 2 chicken breasts here. They're quite large chicken breasts, and what I would do with this is I would have some of this and I would put some in a box for tomorrow night. I would eat it cold at work. Okay, along with this, I've got some organic brown rice. Okay, and I've got some steamed, well, I'm going to steam some vegetables in there as well. So I'll just pop that going on top and set that off also. Because the rice takes a little while, with it being brown rice. White rice is okay. Some people don't like the brown rice. White rice is okay. It's just a little bit, they've had some of the fibre taken out, and it is a little bit higher glycemic index. It goes into you a lot quicker into your system. So, but I would, you know, if I do use white rice, remember that I don't eat any meal without actually having some fats along with the meal as well. So it always slows the digestion down of that meal. Okay, so that's going away. Let's explain a few things to it. So I've got the rice on going, I've got the veg going, I've got my chicken cooked in coconut oil. That will have as a meal, and I'll also take some to work for the next day. Along with, obviously, I have these as my meals also. Now what I've got here is a grass-fed or again organic fillet steak. I prefer to cook it in the oven rather than cook it on the top, because I like it well done, and it goes a little bit tough if you're cooking it well done in a pan on the top. So what I've done with that is just put some, just chopped it up, and I've just put again a little bit of you know, no salt seasoning on there, just normal seasoning, some herbs, and I'll wrap that up like so, and that will be just cooked in the oven. Salmon, now. One of my favourite foods, a fantastic food. It's high in omega-3s, omega-6s. It is Pacific salmon. Okay. Now, a lot of people are into the organic farmed salmon, but it actually isn't as good as this. This has come from very clean waters, been responsibly caught, and it is the colour is as the natural colour as it is. A lot of times when you're getting farmed salmon, they've actually put a lot of colour into the fish to give it that red look. Okay, all I do with that is I'll put some Italian chopped tomatoes on there, again organic, and all I will do is just pour that over the top of it. Okay, you can as well, if you'd wish, you know, put chopped onions on there, chopped mushrooms or anything like that. I prefer it like this. Just wrap it up, and again, just basically cook that in the oven as is. You could have that with sweet potatoes, you could have that with the rice. And again, very easy, very basic, simple meals to do. Very, very good. That would do me probably a couple of meals. Again, I would have some for my tea and the next day. You're always better off prepping. You know, a lot of people come in from work and a little bit lazy. You know, it takes no time at all to get your food sorted for the next day. You know, if you're cooking a meal, redo the next portion for your next day. It's as simple as, and then you've always got your food with you. If I get a client and they're not eating a great deal of food, I have a quick general tot-up of what they're doing, and all I'll do is just make them eat clean and eat more regular, and they will lose weight, they'll lose body fat and shape up very quickly. Because what we're doing is taking what they would normally eat throughout each week, throughout the month and throughout the year, and if they've been eating not very good foods and we just change them to clean foods, you'd be amazed how much that will change them. Okay, so it's getting clients just to eat clean, and that's the key really. Okay, done. Easy done. I'll just leave that to cool. Leave that to cool, and all I'll do is just segment that up, and I'll eat that for breakfast. Yes, the whole of that. Chicken's done. So we'll look at the rice. So very basically, here we've got, you know, my three way of eating: 3 meals, 3 snacks, 3 litres of water. I also go with, you know, protein, fats and carbs at every meal. The only time that I don't do that is immediately after a workout, when you need actually that insulin spike. You need those. You need like a simple sugar to go into you really quick, along with the protein, for instance. So what I would generally do immediately after a workout is we'll have a couple of scoops of protein made with water, and I would have with that some rice cakes, some Snacker Jack rice cakes, depending on the how hard the workout was, whether it's been a leg workout or something along those lines. You know, will dictate how many of those Snacker Jacks I will have. I might go 4, 5, 6, depending. Obviously, I need that sugar to get back into my system, those carbs, and as quick as possible. That as well. If I've done something like drills, which you saw in the other video, I would probably only use maybe 2 rice cakes after that, you know, and again another protein, because you need something to get into your system immediately after you've trained, and then within an hour or so have a good, normal, balanced meal with protein, fats and carbs. Everybody always says to me, what's the best supplements to take? What's this? What's the best of that? And that's why I simplified things right down to 3 things all the time. So as far as like supplements go, I think for a basic off-season, basic health and for training, I would say a fish oil, a vitamin C and a B complex, okay? Before a competition, say I was getting ready for a photo shoot or a main competition, or with what I give to clients as well, is I would add another 3 supplements to those, and those would be creatine, glutamine and a branched chain amino acid. So I don't think you need anything more than those. So off-season, you've got your 3, fish oils, vitamin C, B complex. Prior to a competition, I will add another 3 to those, which will be creatine, glutamine and branched chain amino acids. Okay, now, the supplements, I would take them with each main meal. So I would do breakfast, dinner and tea. I would have your 3 main supplements, okay? And again, before a competition, I would structure that out another 3 ways as well. So that's your basics of that. Let's have a look at this rice. Yeah, I think we're about there, I'd say. Right, let's have a look, see how this is doing. Yeah, it's coming along nicely, that. I'd leave that a while like that, and then a little bit, maybe 90% cooked, then I would open it up just to dry the chicken breast out a little bit. I don't like them too wet like that. That's cool. It's going well. Done. Sorted. Okay, you see how I eat now on a day-to-day basis on my 3 eating plan, and I basically eat for health, and bodybuilding comes with it if you eat clean all the time. So what I do is I keep a track of everything in a logbook, a journal, whatever you'd like to call it. Basically what I do is I have a list of my foods at the front here, and then I have sheets which I can fill in day to day. It keeps me honest. It's also good, I send it out to my clients. Invaluable information you're putting in there really, because if you get a period when your training is going fantastic or not, you guy can actually see what's worked and what hasn't worked. So it's probably the most important book you'll ever write. If you would like one of these, I can email you these forms so you can keep your own little diary and you'll get an idea of how the 3 system works with the eating plans. ian@bodyanddesign.co.uk, and I'll send these out to you completely free of charge, no problem at all. And that way then you've got a record of everything you do. I eat a variety of foods. Now when I'm getting ready for a competition, what I'll do then is I set a baseline. What I mean by a baseline is that I'll eat the same foods day in, day out. Chicken, potato, the same vegetables, same amount of water, same meals, same times, same supplements for probably about 3 weeks. After 3 weeks then, what I'd start to do is chip away a little bit of the carbohydrates and measure nothing else but the carbs. So all I will do then is chip away at the sweet potatoes, the oats, and just taking a little bit off each of the meals. While I'm at that point, what I would like to say is the secret to getting into competition shape, like shredded, looking really, really good, absolutely skinned, is already being in shape, is actually not getting fat in the first place. So what I tend to do is I keep only maybe 5 to 6 pounds above competition weight or photographic weight at any one time. And I try and instill that in my clients as well, of actually not getting out of shape, because we're supposed to live this life of health, style, and look lean and good and healthy all the time. And along with the training, you can't go wrong. You're creating that look with good food. So all I would do is, before a competition, is set a baseline program, same foods day in, day out for a matter of 3 weeks, let my body settle into that amount of food, then just shave away the carbohydrates until I get nearly to the point I want to be, nearly where my body fat is quite low. Then what I do, believe it or not, is I start upping my calories. A lot of people would do lots of CV and reduce the calories more and more and more. Get the body to lose a little bit of body fat, and then from there, increase the calories and increase the fats and train really hard, and actually you will end up eating more food than you did in the off-season by the time the competition comes round, because your metabolism is getting faster and faster and faster along with your training for a competition. So actually I go into a competition in very full, lean condition, and it's not actually been hard for me to do. And I think that's why we do very well in competitions as well, because we do not kill the metabolism, we build it.